we want to call us, for the VCDL Facebook page and group. And I want to welcome you tonight to learn about the rules in the chat, meet some of the moderators, and figure out why we do some of the things we do. First, I'll go down the list and let you meet some of our other mods. First, we have the admin, the other co-admin and executive member. This is Joanna. Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
You want to say anything about yourself or guns or who you'll shoot or what you do or anything?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's Joanna. Next up, we have Mike. Mike is one of our mods that also helps us run the group. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Ed. Thanks for the intro. Mike Castellano, Leesburg, Virginia, and proud Virginian. And what brought me to the cause is pretty much what probably brought the rest of you to the cause, is that you see the way that the state was going with the legislation and so forth, and you wanted to make a difference. So thanks for allowing me to be here, Ed.
Sure thing, and thanks for being a mod. Next up, we have Todd.
Yep. Hey, Ed, this is Todd. Been a mod for about 6 months. Came in to help out with, a large number of posts and such that were going on with the last General Assembly session. Been a VCDL member for a number of years, and just trying to do my part to help out as much as possible.
Sure thing. So this is your mod team that basically runs the Facebook group. I want to just tell you a little bit about 3 things. One is the VCDL VA alert email list. That is the official communication of the VCDL. Philip Van Cleve and others send out on that, and it's a one-way email list where they send out alert items, action items, everything about VCDL and things that you need to know, action items, things you need to take action on to call your senators, write your delegates, et cetera, et cetera. That's the official medium of the VCDL. Then we also have the VCDL page, which is very similar to the VA alert. It's a one-way list that we send out to, and unlike the alert, you can actually comment on the things we put on the page. And it might be about gun things, it might be about fundraisers, it might be about anything that we want to put out to the membership on the VCDL Facebook page that is not in the alert, or it's a copy of the alert, etc. Now we put those 2 aside and we get to the VCDL Facebook group, and that's mostly what we're going to talk about tonight. And that's how you know the difference between the email list, the VA alert, the VCDL page, and then the group. The group, because of its narrow focus, has a set of rules that we're going to go over tonight. There's basically 10 of them. Most of them are pretty, I know you hate the words common sense when you're talking about gun owners. These are common sense rules. Bang, bang. But the biggest thing is we have 20,000 people in the group. We have to have some structure so that we don't get off track. So rule number 1 is, in the group, the post has to be about Virginia and it has to be about gun rights. We're nonpartisan, so we don't get into the politics. Although some politicians, if they're running for a seat in Virginia and their post is about Virginia and gun rights, and they're having a town hall to discuss your rights, that satisfies Virginia and gun rights. So that's generally allowed. If the commenting gets out of hand or people get way off track, we'll either try and, one of the mods will jump on there and try and pull it back on track, or we'll turn off the commenting on the thread, or we'll talk to the original poster and try and get them to revise their post to kind of clarify some of the things. And so that means Virginia gun rights only. Also, many people will post something like Donald Trump tweeted something today about Virginia and the Second Amendment. Even though he's like, save Virginia, that's kind of like one of those borderline things where we make a judgment call, because then it gets into a lot of people that love Trump and a lot of people that hate Trump, and it gets our own members bashing each other over what the president said. So that doesn't really help us move the ball forward in Virginia on gun rights. So that might be something we don't allow in the group, but I put on the page. And because of that, fighting, we'll talk about fighting in a minute, but I'm going to turn it over to Todd, and Todd's going to talk about blind links and memes and things like that.
Yeah, and then I'll add too is philosophical discussions too. We get a lot of those where people talk about I think a lot of us have a common philosophy, but
Looks like
that's
Joanne.
I'm going okay there. All right. Am I live now? Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you heard that last part, but I said we also have a lot of philosophical discussions, and although a lot of us may feel the same way about a lot of other issues that aren't gun rights, that it isn't really the place where we're trying to stay on track with a single issue. As far as the blind links, memes, and videos go, we see a lot of those where people post and I know as a member, over the years, I was kind of guilty of this too. I would be perusing through various Facebook pages and come across something that I thought was interesting and I might want to share with the group and just hit a quick share on it, and it would get declined. And I'm like, what's wrong? Well, I didn't introduce it. I didn't tell the group why they should look at it, why they should open it, why they should read it. You got to give a little lead in on some of this stuff. I see that all the time with just a quick little comment or an image or something, and you've got to make an effort to entice people to read it and keep it on track with the mission of the page.
Right. And while you're talking about the link sharing, I was wondering, Joanna, would you discuss the sharing your own share, what that's all about?
The parent-child one?
Yeah, kind of like why we can't share, or that whole thing.
Well, I think just
go ahead.
we can't censor censor's not the right word, but we can't really control the discussion because it's not happening on the post that is in our group. It's happening on a different post. So that's one of the reasons why we need original posting only and not sharing your own post that you already shared on your own,
Yeah, that's something a lot of people do is they go out and they'll write a nice detailed lengthy post on their own page, and then they'll just quick share it out to the group. And I think a lot of people do share, and when you share in Facebook, you can go down your contact list and you can just share it out to the world. And I think a lot of people end up doing that, but it doesn't give any control, and people start going off tangent and saying things they shouldn't say, and we have people that aren't members of the group that are commenting, and it's really hard to control the content. You just can't have people just randomly making comments that could get us all in trouble. So,
and then that brings you right into rule number 3: fighting or bashing.
Fighting is another one. The passions are high. We all know that. We're all very, very passionate about this issue. But we really need to make a concerted effort to focus our energy on the enemy and not on each other. There's a lot of back and forth and name calling and whatnot. You can't disparage the VCDL leadership. You may be frustrated at times that things didn't go our way, but you can't call Ed and Joanna and Philip names. You can't call each other names. You can call Ralph Northam basically anything you want, but you got to keep it civil amongst the team here. We're all in the fight together. Even like I said, even though things don't necessarily always go our way, we got to keep a forward outlook on this. With everybody on the team together, we'll win this. But let's not let the infighting destroy us.
It's like fight the issue, not each other. And because we are an adult group, we don't mind cussing. Some people are like, oh, this guy said the F word. We're not going to try and edit and censor F words and things like that. A lot of people have called Northam a lot of things. It's not a group for young kids to hang out and talk with their friends. So we're adults, and if you cuss, then you cuss. So be it. As long as you're cussing about an issue or something and not calling somebody else a bunch of names. So
exactly.
So that was fighting. So now that brings us to thanks, Todd.
Yep,
that
sure.
brings us to if you don't know, don't say. A lot of people's like, oh, you can open carry in Virginia as long as your gun can be seen from 3 sides. And my brother, sister's uncle's nephew was a cop, and he said this. If you can certainly ask, hey, can I carry if I've got a gun loaded? Can I have a magazine in the firearm. And especially if you start calling things clips and you sound like you don't really know what you're talking about, that's going to show. And a lot of people, myself included, are going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. We don't have CCWs anymore in Virginia. They're concealed handgun permits or CHPs. So if you don't know, don't say. Just it's okay to not know and just ask the group. There's plenty of knowledge in the group, and there's certainly people in the group that can help you out. Joanna is going to talk about soliciting and sales and things like that in the group. So we'll bring Joanna back on to talk about that.
Oh, from time to time, VCDL will, I don't know if sponsor is the right word, but it'll be able to talk more or have.
We partner with places like Palmetto State Armory or whatever sometimes.
Right. And besides that, you can't come and try to sell your t-shirts, your bracelets. Even if you do promise, we'll give VCDL all of our profits and proceeds, and we'll set up a table here, there, the other. We have tens of thousands of members, and if everybody was trying to sell every knickknack that they have, even though they really do mean well, we can't support that.
That's also why we don't allow people to post their gun classes. We used to let that happen, and what would happen is, first of all, just about everybody in the group is a gun person because their VCDL members are in the group, and then we'd have these guys going, "Hey, I'm teaching a CHP class next Saturday. Who wants to join?" And then they would write bump, and then 3 or 4 more people do classes, and the screen was scrolling like this with gun classes, and I'm like, go market to the people that are not at VCDL, because we all have our classes, we all have our CHPs. We're not the group to market to, and then it bothered everybody else. So we just made a blanket, no soliciting, unless, like Joanna said, we've partnered with someone and we post those opportunities. Which also, when all this COVID stuff is over, we're going to get back into building a VCDL discount page, where if you have a business and want to in the VCDL, we're going to offer a page where you can say, oh, you can buy your car from this guy, or get them or buy your tactical clothes from this guy, because all these people are giving discounts to people with a VCDL membership. Even though the membership cards are right now behind, we're working in December, but okay, so thank you, Joe, and we're going to bring Mike back on, and Mike is going to talk about law breaking suggestion, boxing, and some of those things. The booze. From this guy, because all of these people are giving discounts to people with a VCDL membership, even though the membership cards are right now behind, working in December. But all right, bring Mike back on, and Mike is going to talk about. Wow, I guess Mike's not going to. Oh, Mike must be looking at something else. What's that? Start over because you weren't on screen. Now you're on screen.
There you go. You can. Mike's back, I think.
Wait, Mike's back. I think Mike's back. We'll try and get Mike back. Are you there with us, Mike?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to talk about doxing and the boot.
Rule number.
Hey.
All right. So I'm just going to start talking. I'm not exactly sure what rule we're on. A little bit of a delay in the feed, but rule number 6 is no law breaking or suggestions on doxing. We all know what doxing is. Basic rules that you want to follow are those rules that you treat others the way you would like to be treated yourself. And I think if you apply that to a lot of different situations, you won't get into any of these other problems with doxing or recommending breaking of laws. Anything that can be considered something that would get you in trouble is something that we don't want to be discussing in the group, because not only does it reflect negatively upon you, but it'll reflect negatively upon VCDL as well. and we certainly don't want that to happen. Now, I'm going to jump to number 7, and I'm not sure if we're on that or not yet, so I apologize if we're going out of turn, but mining for followers and likes. So when you visit the page, you're in the middle of a big, giant ocean of Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment folks like yourself. And we just don't want people coming in here to expand their own groups, to mine for additional followers, to grow their groups, and so forth and so on. But you want to focus on VCDL and issues within our group itself, and then you won't find yourself breaking that rule or getting into trouble with that. And again, endorsing your own brand or your own groups within the group is something also that could put you into a little trouble with that one. So that was rule number 6. Rule number 7, and I'm not sure who's going to take rule number 8, but I can keep going if you like.
I'll take rule 8. Rule 8. Rule number 8 started when legal advice, and the reason is because the we would have people post, oh, this is what somebody said on Facebook, and this is, we're going to start this lawsuit, or we're going to do something like that. And then our legal team would look at what they said and was like, this is not anybody in the legal field. This is not what this means. Our legal team has not been able to look at this, and we cannot do this. We cannot say that this is the way to go. A lot of people are trying to say, let's recall Northam. But if you got enough signatures on the line, that just meant, okay, now there are enough people to maybe get the paper signatures, but then there wasn't enough time, place, paper signatures, and information. By the time they could do all this legally to read and get it all submitted and get it to the courts, it would have been out of office for a long time. So we don't take what other legal people say and post it on our page, kind of like our group, kind of like VCDL says to do this, because our own lawyers say no, we're not on that route. So that's why we don't let the legal opinions and what we should do in the group page. Let's see. A lot of times when something happens, when it's HR 5717 or anything like that, somebody will post it, and if it's Virginia gun rights related, we'll let it through. Within 10 minutes, 50 of you post the exact same thing. Oh my God, did you guys see this? So while it's Virginia gun rights, related, we don't let every post go through, even if it's legitimate post, because it's been posted so many times, and then the comments are everywhere on all these different posts. So you might get your post got denied because it was a multiple posts of the same. And then the last rule that we have is not really even a rule. It's a lot of times, depending on what your privacy settings are, you share something in the group, and all we see is this content is not available. And that's because your privacy settings are not set right to let the other people that are not your friends see it. So you might post it in the group, and your friends that are friends of yours on Facebook and also in the group can see it, but the other 18,000 people see this post is not available. So you might get a decline on that, and the response is like 3 sentences to respond. You might get a response that says, please check your settings and repost this. It doesn't mean that it was not a good post or didn't follow the rules. It just meant that the settings weren't right. So that was the rule. That was the rule number 10 that we published. Let's see if there's any. It says audio is lagging. We're just trying this, and we're not sure how it's working out. But yeah, so we can see, can the rules be posted or emailed out? I would like a copy. Barry, that's a good question. The rules are actually in the group. They're posted in the About This group or something. They are in the group, and there's also a video of the rules on the YouTube, on the VCDL YouTube channel, one of the videos breaks the rules, and I had throat cancer before. So me reading the rules a long time ago, I can't really catch you, but I'm going through the rules, and you can read them. You can still understand what they are, but the rules are on the Facebook group, and they're also on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I've
Anybody
got
else?
something coming too.
Am I still lagging?
Yeah,
There was definitely some delay in the audio there. But, you know, one of the other things I think that's been a big issue is people getting upset when posts get declined. It's not a personal thing. It's just that it didn't comply and it didn't, didn't comply with the rules and it didn't help out to advance the mission of the page. But it doesn't mean that you can't fix
Lagging.
it. It doesn't mean you can't fix it, and it doesn't mean that you can't ask. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't do. They tend to get upset, and again, I think passions are high, tempers are short, and people tend to get really upset about a post getting denied. And in the long run, it's just a Facebook post. We're here to help, and I think that's what I think a lot of people miss is that just because it got declined once doesn't mean that you can't fix it and resubmit it.
All of these people that you see, Todd, Joe, Mike, and all the other Eric, Rob, Paul, they're all volunteers. They do this for free on their own time because of their passion for gun rights in Virginia. So don't be too hard on them. Like board member Bruce Jackson said, it's a long, bumpy road to push the cart down. And if you want to complain about it that much, we'll find a spot for you at the back of the cart.
Yep. We're all on the same team.
So, thank you guys for all joining us. I hope you learned something from this. We'll put this on our YouTube page so that you can rewatch it or listen to it on your way to work if you want to. But we appreciate you all joining us. Thank you very much.
Hi, guys.
I hope you learned something from this. We'll put this on our YouTube page so that you can rewatch it or listen to it on your